life after retirement, how to make and stay focused on a work schedule, and a thought on reviewing business goals. Okay, William, this is a very exciting time for you. I'm so excited for you. And I don't want you to feel scared or nervous because artist entrepreneurship is a long journey. It's rewarding, it's exciting, it's never boring, which is wonderful because artists don't like to be bored. Now, the other thing about, being an artist is that we need to be self-motivated. And a lot of business owners let money be the motivation. But our business shouldn't just be a simple money transaction. It should be the source that help us to be the better version of ourselves. It should be the source to help us to share our mission. And your business should be something that's of service, that you're open to help people. We need to make our self-employment something that is much bigger than just a money transaction, because money is not going to be the real fun factor that's driving your passion. You have to be motivated, you have to be passionate at the same time. You want to make a difference in people's life. Now, our art mission and our education contribute to the world, and that says a lot. All right. Now, I've got 7 motivational art making, business, and discipline ideas for you. All right. Number 1, transitioning mindset from career to creative business. This is very different because retirement means that shifting from a structured job to a self-direction job, right? Self-direction career, which can be both exciting and overwhelming. You are most likely going to feel an emotional shift. I want you to accept the emotional shift and realize that the fear that you're feeling is okay. It's okay to sit with that fear, but you need to do something about that fear. All right. It's human to feel, a little scared. And we should all feel a little scared because that's what's exciting about the business, isn't it? It's what's, going to keep you, what's going to drive you. It's that fear. It's like, oh my goodness, everything is now on my shoulder. It is, everything is on your shoulder. But having that thought also makes you, if you have that thought, instead of letting that fear overwhelm you, you switch it around and said that, I am powerful, that I can do so much with my knowledge, that I believe I can be, one of the best motivator out there, one of the best artists out there. Yes, you are powerful. You have to turn that fear into limitless thinking, into fearlessness, right? Into power and boldness, right? That's what you need to turn that fear into. Okay. The way that I do it is by having, making sure I work on my mindset as well as my health. It's extremely important to work on both because if you don't have both, you won't be able to sustain that energy to run your business. As well, you won't have the correct mindset to continue. You would easily be let down, or you would feel exhausted all the time. So this part is so important. I find that setting up our mindset routine and our health routine is very important in the morning. Okay. I basically wake up an hour earlier than what time I'm supposed to start. So I usually wake up around 6:30 and then I start work around 7:30, 7:45. But during that time, yes, I did. I used to wake up at an hour later, but now I'm starting a little earlier just because I've got so much work. I feel like an extra hour could really help, and it has helped, that's for sure. Now, the tip is to start your day with daily routine. Okay. So I want you to plan some kind of physical activity. I want you to plan some kind of physical activity that is going to basically generate energy for you all day long. Okay. I want you to do it in the morning for at least 30 minutes. After your physical activity in the morning, I want you to meditate for 10 to 20 minutes. And then after your meditation, I want you to follow through with some journaling. Journaling is very important, especially after meditation, because when you meditate, always have an intention for the day. Okay, let's say you want to be creative that day, you want to create beautiful work. That is your intention for the day. You're basically inviting the higher energy, the universe or God, whoever you believe in, to come into you to basically give you all the packages of informations, give you the intuition, the wisdom, goes into your throat. So it's a meditation that goes from head all the way down to your belly. All right. So you got a head to give you the intuition, the wisdom, and the packages of information go down to your throat so that when you share these knowledge, either through your art or through your through your art or through your courses, you are sharing it in a service mode, that you're giving a lot, okay, that you're speaking of kindness and that you're inspiring others, and then into your heart where you feel that your heart is open for more people to come in, as well you're open to love as much as possible and to also be of service, right? Then to your core, to your um upper abdominal. That's where all your discipline, your mindset sit, your courage, your persistence, your mental powers, all there. And then to your belly, this is all about the creations that you're going to create, either regarding marketing or ads or art. That's all that's going to drive from your belly. Okay. So this is very important when you meditate on it. Have an intention and just speak to the universe or speak to, your spiritual higher self, and do that for 10 to 20 minutes. Okay, give thanks, give your gratitude every single day. It's extremely important. I even have a singing bowl when I'm done with my meditation and praying. I do my singing bowl. It just, close the day, close my meditation and my prayers nicely. Then after that, I want you to start journaling. And I don't want you to think about anything, I don't want you to think logically when you're journaling. I want you to set a little timer, and then I want you to start putting pen on paper and start journaling. Okay. Let whatever that is coming out from the meditation pour into the paper. Sometimes it's gibberish, but sometimes, well, most of the time, there are some really wise words that come through. So even if, let's say, your intention is to create some gorgeous art and to have this mission is to empower children to activate their creativity, let's say, right? And that's your intention. Let's say you meditate through that, and then when you journal it, most of the time, great ideas will flow through. That's why it's very important to make sure that you utilize that time right after meditation to get the wisdom to come through to you. Because when the wisdom comes through to you after meditation, your mind is relaxed. Therefore, the good ideas actually come through at that time instead of trying to crack your brain to think of, what should I do? Right? The inspiration will just naturally come. So this is my routine. And I had this routine when I was painting as well, but my routine was different when I was painting. I basically said a quick prayer and then I tell my higher self to come. It's not as intense as now. Like now I have a long routine. I've got my exercise, I've got my meditation. When I was painting, I would just meditate, and after that, I'll switch on the music. I would do a few left hand exercise, a few doodling, then get straight to work, right? But I think it's very important to prep your day every single day. It makes a world of difference. It'll make you feel like your mind is set, right, for the day. And the other thing I want you to do too is whatever physical activity that you're doing to um, nourish yourself and to generate energy, I want you to do it like at least twice or three times a day. So once early in the morning, the other one I want you to do it either before or after lunch. And then if you could squeeze in another one before dinner. All right. This way, every so many hours you're generating energy, right? You're getting out there, or you're walking, or you're swimming, or you're doing yoga, and then you generate more energy for more hours again. And do get up, like I know some people would do like a little alarm going off every hour to get them to move or do something. You can do that too. But I basically, like, if every hour I would go, my studio is upstairs and my kitchen's downstairs. So sometimes I would just go downstairs, make myself another cup of coffee or, a cup of tea. And that would be my movement, right? Going up and down. And then I would go for my other exercise after lunch, sometimes before lunch. Like today, I did it before lunch because I know that we have Q&A, so I did it before lunch and make sure that's out of the way. And just make sure that you're always, at least 5 times a week. I mean, yeah, 5 days a week. Sorry, 5 days a week that you're doing this exercise, meditation, journaling 5 days a week. Okay. When you do that, that becomes a habit, and this habit is really, really good to help you to manifest your dream and your goals. Second thing is number 2 is financial planning for stability and motivation. All right. It's of course it's extremely important for us to know what's going on financially as well as know how to drive that financial goals. So setting up a clear income strategy is really important for you to create that peace of mind. Whenever I can't sleep and I'm worried about things, I get up and I take a big piece of manila paper and then I draft out things. I write down all my worries. I write down the things that I can do to basically take away these worries and what I need to achieve in order to get there, right? So financial worries is the same thing. You need to get your piece of paper out there and you need to start setting some financial goals, which is basically writing down what you need to live on. Your whole expense, your budget has to be written down, okay? My husband has always been the budget guy, and I always stay with his budget. And I'm so glad I did because owning a business, you have to be so disciplined. If you're not disciplined easily, because I will tell you something, you will find that the money you make comes in sporadically. You have the sowing months, which is sowing your seeds, you're not harvesting, and then you have the harvest month. And the harvest month come. And when it comes, it's a lot of money all at once. So if you're not careful on having a budget, having to stay on your budget, having income goal, having financial goals, personal financial goals as well, you will think, oh my God, look, this big lump sum of money, I'm just going to spend it all. No, don't do that. Okay. So if you have a budget, you know what to do with it. Okay. So it's very important that you write down your monthly expenses, your budget, what you need to make, and how you're going to get there. All right. What you need to make, and then on the other side, how you're going to get there. How many courses do you have to sell? How many workshops do you need? How many paintings do you need to sell? How many prints do you need to sell to get to that number? Okay. And then I want you to track those progress all the time. All right. If you are doing your own bookkeeping, that's easy because then once you're doing your bookkeeping, you're always looking at your financial statement and all of that so that you're always aware of what's going on with your finance. But if you're not doing your bookkeeping and you have a bookkeeper, that's fine too. Nothing's wrong with that. But make sure you look at it so you know where you're at all times. So you're not, surprised at the end of the year. And you also have to track your progress on everything. For example, if you put an ad on, track it, see what's successful and what's not successful, right? Your subscriber list, I want you to track it as well. I want you to say every month, I want to get this many subscribers. If you're not there, put on another strategy to say, okay, I only got, 5 last month. I want more this month, so I need to do this and that. So all this planning is extremely important. The other thing I want you to do, like right now, is book all your art shows and book all your workshops that you are going to give. Okay. By booking this and scheduling all of them, you're going to have that schedule to basically keep you accountable. Okay. That's what I used to do when I first started in the art business, is that I book all my shows, even without any paintings completed. I did was just book it. So this way I know I'm accountable for them and I need to, get going. It kind of motivates me, right? Because that little bit of nervousness is actually really good. It will motivate you to create work. So that's really important. I want you to make sure you book all your shows and book all your workshops immediately, right after you finish retirement or before retirement, okay? And have multiple income streams. For example, you teach, you sell art, you sell prints, uh, and then you can even do some licensing art as well. And then expand the product line because not everybody wants a piece of your art on the wall. As I know that you have expanded your product line to some hoodies and things like that, but expand it to journals. Journals, they're good sellers. Coasters, those are good sellers too. Although I didn't sell my coasters uh, like for cheap. Like they were $17 for coasters, but they're beautiful coasters. And people were buying them because I had a story to go with each one. And then make sure you grow your subscriber list. That's extremely important for a healthy online business. All right. Okay. And anything you can automate, automate. If you can automate invoices, set up payment plans, that will help you to stabilize your administration time and also cash flow. Okay. Number 3, creating a balanced work-life schedule. Separate your time for art making and marketing so that your energy can be well focused instead of being very sporadic. And then if it's sporadic, you are, not spending your time properly because then you'll get brain fog and it will also slow you down as well. So what I usually do is make sure that I have a schedule. Schedules are so important. This can't be like I can't stress how important a schedule is. I do not go a day without my schedule. Every single day I have schedules. Some days are better than others. Some days are a big mess, and someday it's so organized that each one has a time on it. But I have to say, William, the scheduling thing you have to schedule the night before, okay? So now I believe I have the goal review, so I will go through this in after this point here because I don't want to stay off topic. But I'll go back to it, okay? So I want you to create a balanced work life schedule and I want you to have the art making and marketing at separate time so that your left and right brain don't have to switch. By switching it, it really kind of slows you down, right? But being self-employed means work can easily spill into your personal time. But don't let that, okay? Make sure you set boundaries. There is like I work all the way till 7 p.m. So I get up early, I work till 7 p.m. And I don't let that spill over to my personal time. Okay. I know this 5 days a week, I'm doing this. On the weekend, sometimes if I have a lot of work, I work in the mornings on Saturday and Sunday. So I do not mix those personal life and work time together. It's just treat it as if you were going to school, like as if you were still working. That's your work time. That's your work time. You are not going to you're not going to put in personal time with your work time. Make sure you set boundaries. Make sure you tell your family that the studio time, your marketing time, your art making marketing time is not to be disturbed. You can't do any other thing but work at that time because you need to make a living, right? You need to explain it to your family so they understand that, oh, dad is retired. No, you're not. You're not retired. You just changed career. That's all. You're retired from full time in the school education, but now you are working for yourself. So that is even more important to keep your schedule. Okay. Now, here's a tip like try time blocking, set specific hours for creativity, administration, and relaxation. Okay. So this is my thing. When I was doing, like, when I do my collections, I would do it in the winter because that's the time to create work because winter is a slow time in the shop and my husband usually loved the shop for me, so I would actually paint from Monday to Wednesday. All right. And then from Thursday to Saturday I would do the marketing and I would look after the gallery. And before my gallery became full-time, I would paint from January till the end of April. then I do all my marketing in May, like all the story things, all my stories, and my sequence of emails going out there to tell them I'm launching this collection, and all of those art marketing, and even getting my prints done and all that in May. And then my gallery was open right on Mother's Day onward, right? So that was how my schedule is. But I separate the art making and marketing time, okay? So you can do like Monday, like if you're going to work 6 days, then Monday to Wednesday painting, Thursday to Saturday marketing, okay? And then if you're just going to work 5 days, then Monday to Tuesday painting, Monday and Tuesday painting, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday marketing. Because you should spend at least 60% of your time marketing and 40% of your time making art, just like the way I did January to end of April making art, the rest marketing and selling, right? Because that is just, unfortunately, we can't paint 60% of the time and mark 40% of the time. I would love that, but you know, in this world, we have to do 60% of marketing and selling instead. You can also do things like mornings for your creative time, for your painting and all of that. Then your afternoon is a business task. And then your evening is for learning and networking. Okay, so you can also do that. Like for me, it's my evening, Monday to Friday evening, I learn and network. And I also do like, um, outreach. Let's say if you have customers that's been talking to you, DMing you, those are time when you can outreach them and, ask them if there's anything you can do for them, ex- or even writing emails. Those are all outreach. All right. And if you can set up some time to basically block some time once in a while to just play, to just go and experiment in your studio instead of creating art to sell. You're just going out there to go into your studio basically to play, to experiment so that you can grow as an artist. That's also very important. Okay. Number 4, building a supportive community. Okay. Now, entrepreneurship can definitely feel lonely. And if you're introvert, you're fine with it. You can, stay home and feel, just well accompanied by your brain and your creative mind, and you feel not lonely at all. But if you've been used to having colleagues around all the time, and then all of a sudden you're left alone in the house, your wife gone to work, and all of a sudden you're alone, it may feel lonely, right? So surrounding yourself with the right people is the thing to do. And also surrounding yourself with your routine will not make you feel lonely. But it's a good idea, like for you, you have joined the art groups, you have found a mentor, like finding a mentor is really important. Attend art business events is really important because it'll keep, like if you go to workshops and marketing events and stuff like that, it'll keep you inspired and motivated. And then finding an accountability partner is also really good for you. Okay. That's the other thing that I was talking about in regarding to creating balanced work life schedule. Like when I was saying that, you should create some specific hours that you're just going to go and create and just explore. Those times can also be, learn more about art marketing, learn more about art selling, or just spending your evening learning more about those things. It's very important to keep you as a good, business person, and that you're always growing your business knowledge as well as your financial um, part of your business, right? And always stay connected with your mentors or coaches who can guide you through your challenges, because it's important to have that kind of rapport. If you have that kind of rapport, you don't feel like when you have a question, you don't know where to go to, right? It's very important to have that. And number 5, regular business goals reviews. Okay, this is what you were talking about, reviewing your goals. Yes, reviewing your goals is a consistent thing. It really is. Like if you come to my studio, you would think I'm a little on the crazy side. The other day I was talking to my sister and she's saying that, she was saying, do you know that I write in different color pens? And then, a blue pen will be about this, purple pen will be about this, and a red pen will be about this. And I'm like, yeah, I do that too. Like planning, organizing thing is so important. What I usually do, okay, I'll tell you what I do. I spend the beginning part of the year just drafting out my goals. I plan them into months. I plan what to do on each month. Then I set like use. I actually have lots of bulletin boards. It's sad to say, but I have got like three of these. Okay, three bulletin boards. One is for informations about what I've created that are, free PDFs, freebies, and all of that. And I've got some ideas on one board, which is called the idea board. I have one that is called the goal board, and then I have one that's called the marketing ideas board. Okay, so and then I've got another map that's drawn out of my monthly plans. Then I've got my monthly schedule, and I also got my daily journal. Okay, so that's right. This is when I'm going to talk about daily journal. Then quarterly, I want you to check in and review them. Actually, more than quarterly, every time end of the month, reflect on what you created. What were your goals? Did you get them accomplished, and why not? And actually do that not just at the end of the month, also weekly. Weekly is really important. Like weekly, I always have things that I haven't got done yet, so then I write it back into my journal on what I'm going to do on the 16th to 20th week, and what I'm going to do from my March 23rd to 28th week, and what other goals that needs to be completed that week. And then I have my schedule, my daily schedule. And then I also want you to celebrate your wins. All right. Whenever you sell painting, whenever you know, sell a print, you know, anything, I want you to celebrate, because without celebration, without us celebrating, I'm not good at celebrating, to tell you the truth. I'm not. Because for me, it's like, oh, well, for me, it's not the monetary reward. It's more like, oh, that's wonderful. I found somebody that actually loved my art. That's wonderful. I'm so happy about that. Next, right? It's not a good habit to do that, but we do need to celebrate a little longer, give your gratitude, and just celebrate a little longer, so that you don't always feel like you're always working so hard and that you're not getting rewarded. You should stop. Smell the roses once in a while. But it is so important for you to make a yearly goal, your monthly goal, and then check in weekly and see if you get your things done. And when you do your journaling, make sure, if you want it to be really productive, other than painting time, I want you, when you paint, just paint. But if you're doing marketing, make sure you said, like for me, I have a soul and canvas project. I said 1 hour. I'll have to fix my webinar. I wrote 1 hour. I have to do a sequence of emails, 1 hour. When you do like time like that, you actually get more things done. And I find that when I only have like one or two goals that day, and I have to, I'm spending hours on these things, I get less work done than a whole bunch of little things that got particular time allotted for them. It's a lot more productive than having, one or two big chunks of goals, and then you spend the whole day just doing one or two goals. That is actually not as productive as having more goals with just less time allotted to them, because this way your mind is always fresh. It's like having, I like painting one painting at a time, but some artists like to paint like a few paintings at the same time. They'll paint on this one for a while. When they're stuck on something, they'll put it aside. They'll take another painting. They'll paint that one. It's kind of like that. It kind of gives it always. Your mind is always fresh. You go to one project to the next, and your mind is always fresh, always inspired as well. Okay. And I want you to keep a journal of your business journey to track your growth, your insights, and then, like I said, set your yearly goals, then check your weekly um, goals and make sure you're on track. If you're not, revise it over and over again. Okay, there's nothing wrong with revising. There's nothing wrong with scratching things out that you said this is just not important, or this has to be moved to the end of the year because it's just not a needle mover. Okay, always work on things that are needle mover. That's going to get you the best result. Those are the things you would need to work on first. Okay. And then number six, staying inspired and avoiding creative ruts. Yeah, that's so important. Now, the biggest challenge of working for yourself is losing inspiration and feeling stagnant or losing focus. That is an easy thing to do if you don't set up your day with morning rituals, and if you don't keep motivating yourself and you don't keep a nice tight schedule. You can easily just be lazy, go sit down, eat bonbon, eat some Doritos and forget about the day, watch some soap opera. Oh, geez, you know, then Jackie comes home. Then you go, oh dear, I haven't done anything, Jackie, right? So you don't want to do that, okay, William? Now, ways to stay creatively fueled is number one, create an impactful, cohesive art collection every single year. Make sure you do at least 20 to 30 paintings. Pick a genre or two genre and just really concentrate on it. Really concentrate on your mission and make an impactful art collection to launch so you can make a whole bunch of money and to sell your art. And then the other thing is trying new artistic techniques or mediums. Like that hour that I said, once in a while, put in some time that instead of just creating work, producing work to sell, take that day just for experimentation to try mixed medium so that you can grow your art techniques and to inspire you. Travel or visit galleries to gain fresh perspective, to talk to gallery owners, to gain perspective, and to know, oh, that gallery owner is wonderful. And I love his collection of artwork. I think I would love to approach him, 6 months down the road when I have my art collection. Okay, always keep those networking ideas going. All right. Create new art courses that will keep you inspired as well. Create new freebies so that people want to sign up so that you can grow your subscribers and collaborate with other artists for creative energy. Um, Stephanie, she has a friend comes in, I think she comes once a month and they paint together. And I think that's wonderful. That's beautiful way to keep yourself inspired as well. And then schedule creative playtime each week. Art without pressure or expectation, which I already mentioned. But I think it'd be really fun if you could find a friend like Stephanie has, just once a month get together and paint. I think that's a wonderful idea. Create boundaries. Now, your studio time, your marketing time means no disturbance. So I can't stress this enough. There is no way. Like when you're painting, when you're working, please switch off your phone. This is so important to be switched off. I don't switch it on. I know sometimes you're thinking, oh, what if there's an emergency? Well, then if you're worried about emergency, then check every hour, every 2, 3 hours, see if somebody left you a message. But I find computer and cell phone is a huge distraction. So, it's best not to switch them on and, if possible, switch them off because it's just not conducive to work. I don't message anybody when I'm working because I know if once in a while if I end up messaging my sister, then I'm thinking, why did I do that for? Because half an hour in, I'm still talking to her, right? So switch those off. Those are not good. Okay. Now, number seven, setting up an exit plan or legacy project. This is important. Like right now, I'm actually Carol used to be always with me during Q&A because she loves Q&A, but now she's finished with GSM. Now we're doing private consultation because she wants me to help her to build her legacy. So we're building her legacy at the moment. Building legacy is very important because we're not getting younger, right? We're getting older as we go. So we have to decide what we want to do with our business. Where do we want our art to be? How do we want it digitalized? Do we want the rest of the collection to be donated to a certain foundation? Do we want them to be in museum? You know, how are you going to scale down your workload as years go by? How are you going to sell your business? You can sell your business as well, right? Like for me, when I had my art gallery, I could easily sell my business. But I wasn't thinking that I was closing for good. I really thought that, I was going to go on my sabbatical, I come back to Canada, I move out east instead because out east it's quiet in the wintertime. So all the shops and businesses are open like this area anyway, Digby area, is only open for the summer and fall. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to sort of half retired, but COVID happened, that economy happened, and so right now I'm looking at, what's going on in the States and the whole Canada States, the tariff war, the trade wars. It's a lot of uncertainties, and that just make me feel like maybe this is not the right time to open a gallery, right? So I'm holding off. But you know, if I knew that this was going to happen, I would have planned to sell my business, right? But I mean, business life is unpredictable. You just have to kind of go with the waves. That's why last email that I sent you folks was talking about, like, don't get comfortable. Don't just go rinse and repeat kind of mentality, because that's when you get uncomfortable, is when things happen. When things happen, then you caught off guard and you go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now, right? So always make sure that you are a few steps ahead of time, knowing that what's going to happen later on. How are you going to grow your business? How are you going to make um, this year better than last year? How you're going to make more money this year than last year? And are you going to sell your business in the end? If you're going to sell your business in the end, how are you going to structure your business so that it's easy to sell 10 years down the road, right? So these are things you have to think about, because once you know that, yes, you want to sell your business at the end. No, you can't sell your talent, but you can sell your business. You can structure your business in such a way that you can actually either teach that system or you can sell your business, okay? So your art legacy is very important as well. Document your journey and turn it into a story worth sharing. That's a thing you can do for a legacy project. All right. Now, closing thought. Success in art isn't just about making money. It's about making meanings. All right. Creating that, like I said, you want to contribute to the world. You have a business to contribute to the world. You have that, basically a platform. So use it. Use it wisely. And stay focused, disciplined, and passionate. And your business will thrive on purpose, not just profit. Understand that mindset and discipline must go hand in hand in entrepreneurship. All right. So, William, I hope I gave you a lot to think about, and I hope that you write them down, or even you can download it too for your own purpose, as something that you may want to listen to motivate yourself ever so often. And thank you so much for the wonderful question. I'm actually going to make this into either a blog or a freebie, not mention your name though, um, because it's such a fantastic question. Thank you so much. And I want you to think of that too. If your students have questions that seem to be really something that is like a light bulb come and switched on kind of thing, I want you to write those things down, because you never know what you're going to do with your business coaching, right? Your art workshops. You never know what you're going to do with it. So always keep those ideas that you think is great ideas, put it in a folder, because as your business grow, those things are going to inspire you to keep growing your business. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I know this is Thursday, not quite Friday yet, but have a great weekend. Thank you.